Hey guys, this is Marc Goldberg from Marc Vlogs Watches, and I have some exciting news about Batman and the 2019 edition, which is about to be announced at Baselworld tomorrow, according to reliable sources. But before we go there, let's do the quick wristwatch check. And guess what I'm wearing? I'm wearing the Batman. And now for a quick commercial word from our sponsor. Well guys, I think it's fitting that I would wear the Batman for you tonight. Let's take a look at some video of this watch and some still pictures as I kind of tell you what's going on. But let's just say that RolexPassionReport.com, a reliable transmitter of information pre-Baselworld pretty much every year, states that this particular edition of the Rolex Batman is indeed being discontinued and being reissued with some substantial changes. Here you are looking at the Rolex 116710 BLNR, or commonly known as the Batman. This is a Rolex GMT, and it is in a black and blue Cerachrome bezel, which is really the only thing that distinguishes it from the black GMT, with the exception of you see the blue GMT hand, which otherwise is green. Now, there are some changes that are coming here, and so presumably the digit 1 in front of this reference number will soon change to a digit number 2. And here's the most shocking thing of all. That oyster bracelet is going to change to a Jubilee bracelet, just like in last year's new edition of the Pepsi. So if you're a big fan of that oyster perpetual bracelet, you're out of luck unless you buy the old one. It's going to come on a Jubilee bracelet, and it is going to have the new movement with the 72-hour power reserve. I got really lucky on this watch, guys. I got it for the ridiculous sum of $7,800. Now here I'm showing you the Pepsi because I want you to see the Jubilee bracelet, but more importantly I want you to notice that the shape of the lug is narrow and it's thinner. It's very slight, but it is definitely somewhat thinner than what you will see on the old version of the Batman, which features the maxi case and a broader style lug. So let's take a look at that now. Here you can see the oyster perpetual bracelet, which is to become a thing of the past on the Batman, but look at the lug. They are broad, and if you compare them to that previous picture of the Pepsi, those narrow down, and they remind me a little bit more of the old style lug, which were thin and elegant. Now, as of this evening, Rolex is still showing the current version of the Batman, which is the 116710 BLNR. They're still showing this version of the watch on their website, but presumably within the next 24 hours or so it will shift and change over to that new lug style and that new Jubilee bracelet. According to Rolex Passion Report, who has broken this story, the blue in the Cerachrome bezel will remain the same, but of course that Jubilee bracelet is going to replace the oyster perpetual. Personally, I think that's a shame because I'm a big fan of that oyster perpetual bracelet and I'm not a big lover of the Jubilee. But I'd like to hear in the comments what you guys think about this issue. And the other thing that they're going to do is they're going to put a little crown right at the 6 o'clock position. That crown will go right between the words Swiss and made, so it's going to be very tiny. But that will enable Rolex to be able to look at the dial at any point in time and know which iteration of the watch they're looking at. Because sometimes people goof around with the bracelets or change dials out. So every time Rolex makes a caliber change, they make a tiny little dial change as well. It's going to be infinitesimal, but that's a prediction. That little crown's going between Swiss and made. Now, immediately, two questions are going to arise instantly, and one is what's going to happen to the price of the old Batman, and then what's going to happen to the availability and premium on the new Batman. So I'm going to make some predictions. First, because they're making this huge shift in look to the Jubilee bracelet, I think that the old Batman is going to continue to shoot up in value. Now, that might not be instant. For the first few months, some guys with the old one might want to bail out and get the new one, and therefore a bunch of them may hit the market. So yeah, that will temporarily depress prices. But I think if you look ahead 6 months, the old Batman is selling for $15,000, $16,000. The new Batman, $20,000, $22,000, and that's if you can get it. That's what I think is going to happen, because that's exactly what happened with the Pepsi. So to wrap up with a few thoughts, I think prices are going to go nuts on the old version, but I think they're going to get crazier on the new one. I also think that Rolex is looking to move the GMT line towards a slightly more refined look. The maxi case is kind of squat and square, whereas the lugs used to be thinner and elegant, and I think the move now is towards the middle ground. If you liked larger wrist presence, you might be happier with the old lug style on the one hand. On the other hand, although I'm not a fan of the Jubilee bracelet, one has to admit that with all its different facets, it's going to sparkle and catch the light, and therefore it's going to be a lot blingier, and quite frankly, it's comfortable. The problem with the Jubilee bracelets of yesteryear has been fixed and erased. They had hollow center links and they stretched, but now they are solid. It is a much beefier bracelet than ever, and they don't stretch. So I think Rolex is going for what they consider to be a stylistic upgrade here, but hey guys, what do you think?